We'll take a couple minutes and we'll follow up on the Apple trade that we posted last night on the blog. So we were looking for a break of this 328.35 today to trigger us in. And Apple gapped up above that. The options closed last night at 160. Okay, they opened at 280. So from that 280 open, the high was 450. Okay, so there was still some movement in the options for about 60% today alone. Okay, so we're still looking for our 335 target. Okay, this is our first target. If we go out to a bigger time frame, you can see that Apple can pull up to this 338 to the 340 in this leg. Okay, now with weekly options, we don't have a lot of time. So what this chart would most likely look like, let's say if we pulled up to this 340, we would probably have a wave within it. Okay, so depending on what day of the week this wave occurs, it can hugely affect the outcome of the trade with weekly options. So with weekly options, the good thing is, or with any options, but especially with weekly options, they move so much we can get in and out of the trade multiple times, okay, to hit our bigger target. So we don't need to really hold through, any weakness. So tomorrow, what I'm looking for is a push up to that 335 level to exit the calls. Okay, so we're really looking for that second push within this same leg. Okay, so this is a 60-minute chart. In reality, it's all going to look like one leg. Okay, that's why we use multiple time frames. So we can see those minor waves inside of that one leg. That's going to help us pinpoint where we want to exit the trade. So it's just very important to know that the weekly options, they move extremely fast. So you can enter at $3, they could go to $10, back down to $4 very quickly. So without taking some of the profits, a big winning trade could actually go back to a break even or a loser. Okay, so best strategy is multiple contracts, and you want to get out of your first contract on the first push. Okay, which would be today at this high. We would want to get out of some of our position. And what that does is, if let's say we make $2 on the first contract and we lose $2 on the second contract, let's just say Apple gaps down and we lose $2, we're basically break even on the trade. So we're not so emotional. We're really just trading what we should be doing instead of holding, hoping, or all the bad habits that can fall into when you're in a losing trade or a winning trade. Right? The emotions are different, but they're the same. We still have them. Okay, so I'm watching Apple still. We're still in that. Let's look at Netflix. Okay, Netflix was another one I was going to post on the blog, but since it's a free blog, I don't want to make it too complicated for people that are following along. But all of these waves are corrective, which means we should resume back up. Okay, so when I look at Netflix, we were basically basing, this is that first breakout. So since we're trading weeklies, it really depends on from where we're at here, what it looks like setting up for the rest of the week. If it doesn't set up correctly, we'll have to wait till the following week. Okay, what I'm looking for is a pullback into the 259 level, okay, to get in to ride it up to the 264. So that's what I'm looking at as far as the weekly options. Okay, bigger term options, keep an eye on POT. Okay, we have yellow bars, okay, which means a big move coming. Okay, we broke this down to them in our members video, but we're looking for, if this gets triggered, okay, we're looking for a new high. Okay, and those aren't weekly options, those are going out July, August. Okay, POT and MON are on our watch list. Okay, we might get triggered in tomorrow. So let's look at NQ scalper from today, and the NQs were up over 30 points today, which a lot of that was overnight, so we couldn't participate in that. But we do use 24-hour data on our scalper chart so we can see the structure coming into the open. Okay, so we had a couple signals. This would be a minor wave signal here. Okay, long here. Right here would be a breakout signal. Okay, came down, we had an arrow. Both moving averages are green. Okay, everything lined up for a structure break here. Okay, indicator long on the green bar. Okay, that brings us back into more of the major wave. Once major wave confirms, then it's probably going to go into minor wave. The key is both moving averages are still green. Our outlook from the night before was up. So we don't want to try to take the short trades back to moving average. So let's say any short trade, target would be moving average. So there's not enough in that trade, okay, to make it worth the risk. Okay, eventually in the sequence of going up, the last one will have that risk reward. Okay, meaning it does fall bigger than the prior corrections. Okay, but we don't want to try to pick when we're at the high, this one is that big move down. Okay, because we could try to do that 5, 6, 7 times in a row and be wrong. And it's not so much just having a losing trade if we try to short. It's saying if we're short, we're probably not looking to get back in long. Okay, so if let's say we try to short here, okay, on a non-confirmed counter trend signal, we're just doing it purely out of emotion. Okay, if that trade gets stopped, okay, chances are you're not reversing back in the trend. So it's not so much you lose a couple here, it's you didn't make 10 here. This is really the damaging part. Okay, missing the profits. So if you short here, you miss here, what's your next thought? Well, I missed this, I'm going to have to try to short it again. Okay, negative cycle. It really needs to be broken. Okay, on scalper on Apple today, since our outlook was up, we wanted to buy the calls, we would be utilizing that information, okay, to scalp Apple as well. Okay, you can see the chart looks very similar to the NQs. So we had a nice signal long here. Okay, so that's a point. So even though it's a scalper, we're not scalping for 5 cents. Okay, we're scalping for 50 cents, ride the rest. Okay, 50 cents, ride the rest. So just like in Q's, Russell, any of them, we want to scale out to limit our risk if we are stopped on the balance. Okay, or I should say stopped with a loss on the balance. So we'll kind of back up here. You can see basically moving averages are both green. We're not looking to go short. We're only looking to get back in long. Okay, so watch Apple sell those calls, or at least half of them, into the early strength in the morning.